Hello and welcome to a full guide on the Scourge of the Past raid in Destiny 2. This is going to go over all encounters, secrets, and tips in general. So if this is helpful for you guys, consider liking and subscribing. Like always, I have timestamps in the description if you just want to see a certain encounter, or just skip this intro. For those of you that don't know, raids must be done in a fire team of 6 to be completed. If you're looking for a fire team and you don't have any friends that play Destiny, go to bungie.net to find and make fire teams of your own. With that out of the way, let's get to the raid. First and foremost, if you are new, I recommend watching the whole video before attempting this raid to have a good picture on what roles you can do and what needs to be done in each encounter. Now, how to enter the raid. First, you're going to go to Earth, go to the top right of the map, and hit Scourge of the Past. You will fly in and start here at the beginning of the first encounter. The first encounter consists of killing berserkers, an enemy that looks like this, taking their orbs and then inserting them into certain machines. These machines look like this, and I'll show you where they are in a bit. There are 6 jobs. I'll get to what each one of them does in a bit, but for now just know there is a map reader, a map defender, team 1 first pickup, team 1 second pickup, team 2 first pickup, and team 2 second pickup. Now, to start the encounter, follow the route I'm taking. If you fall off, don't worry, you can jump up onto different buildings to get around the map. There are no set routes between places, so you can be creative as you go. Also, you can use your Sparrow in every encounter in this raid, so keep that in mind for quick movement. Now, this is map. This area is called map because when we start, a map will spawn here. Now, if you go down these stairs, you will see an invisible enemy, or I guess you won't, that turns visible when you get close. This enemy is the Berserker. This enemy is invincible unless you shoot both his back and front crit spots, which look like this. Now, to unlock these crit spots, you must go close to him, and then he will yell, throw up his arms, and make a big bubble of slowness. Like I said, there's a crit on his back and his front. You must have one person on his back and one in front to kill him. Once both the crits are shot and broken, he'll be available for damage. Good weapons for the runners, which consists of Team 1 first pickup, Team 1 second pickup, Team 2 first pickup, and Team 2 second pickup, are shotguns, recluse, swords, or any other high damage close range weapons. Whilst you can use grenade launchers, you might kill yourself, and that's gonna be a big no-no. Also, you must use a weapon with bullets to kill these crit spots on the Berserker. No grenades, rocket launchers, swords, trace rifles, or fusion rifles. Map team, which consists of obviously map reader and defender, can go or can run whatever they like. It isn't too important as long as it does decent damage. Now, upon killing a Berserker, usually 2 orbs will spawn, but this first Berserker only spawns 1. Either map defender or map reader must pick up this orb, bring it over here, and this is because after picking up an orb and placing it in the correct spot, you get a debuff called ionized. This means you can't pick up orbs for the next 2 minutes, and since runners need to pick up orbs, they can't pick up the first one. After either map reader or defender puts it in, the encounter officially starts. Now, everyone should stand up on this raised area above map. You don't need to, but it gives a good view of the map that spawns. Now, with the map here on screen, let me explain what everything means. There are going to be 2 orange beams. Okay, this is post-production alpha. As you can see, I was wrong. In the first time, or when the first Berserker spawns, there's only ever going to be 1 beam. But as the encounter progresses, there's going to be more orange beams in the on the map. So just be prepared for that. Sorry for the mess up, but here's back to me explaining. Where there's going to be more than 2 orange beams. But in the beginning, there's 2 orange beams. This one without a circle on top, and this one with the circle on top. These beams signify that a Berserker is at that location. The other Berserker that doesn't have the circle on top of it will drop false orbs and won't progress the encounter. Now, what Team 1 first and second pickup and Team 2 first and second pickup need to do is go to the correct Berserker and kill it. Remember, at least 1 person on the Berserker's front and 1 on his back. Now, once you successfully kill the Berserker, 2 orbs will spawn. Team 1 first pickup will pick up the first orb. Now, let's go back to the map. These yellow beams signify players. If they are on the wrong berserker, you can tell them and tell them directions to the right one via directions I will soon explain. Also, whilst the runners are getting the orbs, map reader and defender must kill the enemies around them. The most important enemy to kill are servitors. When they are present at that map area, you will not be able to see what is on the map. So when Team 1 first picks up their orb, dots will appear above their yellow beam markers, if you know what I'm talking about. It looks like this on the map. It will either be 1 dot, 2 dots, 3 dots, 4 dots, or 5 dots. These signify places they need to go to and bank their orbs. If the number of dots is 1, they're going to go here, which is referred to as 1. 2, they go here, which is 2. 3, they go here, which is 3. 4, they go here, which is 4. And if it's 5, they go to map, also known as 5. And I do want to explain a couple things first. Clearly, as you know, this is a map of the area you are in. When I say go to 1, I mean go here. You're going to refer to it as 1, but it's down on the map. You can look at the map. You know where it is. That's where it is. You can actually see it in that picture right there. Now, 2 is going to be all the way to the right if you're looking at Schnell. When you're giving directions, you're always going to have Schnell as north or top. So if it's, down, it's down while looking at Schnell. So just always remember that. 3 is going to be looking like this. It's going to be on the back. 4 is going to look like this, which is all the way to the left. And map is obviously in the center. Now, there is a road that goes between every major 1, 2, 3, 4, except for map. But this is what the road is right now. You can see me going along. You can see at the certain places I come and then turn and looking at them. That's where those places are. So when I say 1, 2, 3, 4, those are the places I am talking about. Once the map reader says where the first person should go, Team 1's second picks up the second orb, and map reader tells them where to go. Once they're told where to go, they go where they're supposed to go, and then they bank their orb in the washing machine things that I was talking about before. But let me explain a couple things first. One of the orbs will always have to go to map. So if the first pickup is either 1, 2, 3, or 4, the second pickup will always be 5 orb map. Also, Team 2 will have to go to the runner that is not going to map, depending on the callout. So, example, I pick up the first orb, map reader says 5 or map. Second pickup picks up, and map reader says go to 3. Now, Team 2, along with first team's second pickup, is going to go to 3, whilst I'm going to go to map. Now, in each of the areas is a washing machine and a bubble. The goal of the encounter is to break the bubble by depositing 8 orbs, 4 into the washing machine at map, and 4 into the surrounding areas, but that's not really important right now. Around the washing machine, the place where you deposit the orb, is a barrier. To break this barrier, you must kill 2 servers roaming around this area. The first one is going to be always present, whilst the second one only spawns when the person with the orb comes close. Remember, use your Sparrow. You can't use your Sparrow when holding the orb, so the people who aren't holding the orbs will usually get to the correct place first. Also, after killing the Berserker, you have 60-second timer before the orb explodes. You have to dunk it in the correct area, or it will also kill you. And if, like I said, if you're too late, it will explode, so you have to be quick. Now, let's switch gears back to my analogy. The person is going to map, banks his orb here, and then goes to the next Berserker by looking at the map, and obviously, orange beam with a circle on top, that's where it is. Now, here's why. Every runner, except the one who went to map, is now not at the map. Remember? Because the guy went to 3, and so Team 2 would also be going to 3. They will take a while to kill all the servitors and bank the orb, so the person at map can bank his orb, look at the map, see where the Berserker is, and then run over to it and say next Berserker is on Alpha Wolf, or next Berserker is on Crocus, whatever your username is. Now, remember when I said that after picking up an orb you have 2-minute Ionize debuff? Well, now Team 1 can't pick up the orbs of the second Berserker, so Team 1 and Team 2 switch roles. Team 2 first pickup picks up the first orb, map calls out where they should go. Second pickup picks up the second or yeah, second pickup picks up the second orb, map calls out where to go. When pick up your orb, say first pickup or second pickup, because map reader might be killing things, so you must grab their attention. So both the runners go out, team 1 follows whoever isn't going to map, and you rinse and repeat until both teams get 2 sets of orbs. If you miss one or one explodes, you can go back and do another round. Just make sure the one you have to get the one that goes to map. If one's going to 1, 2, 3, 4 and that explodes, that's fine. But there's a timer at the map one, and if you're late on that one, everyone will die. So please don't do that. And like I said, remember you are on a timer, so you can't lollygag. When holding the orb, if you want to go quick, do an orb skate. Single jump, punch, land, run, jump, punch, land, run, etc. Like I said, runners will run 2 sets of orbs per team. And on the 4th bank of either 1, 2, 3, or 4, the bubble disappears and you finish the first encounter. Now skip to this time if you want to see what comes next, but if you want to learn a secret, continue watching. Now I wouldn't recommend using, but you can spawn and tank in this encounter. You're going to need 2 people to do this, so grab a buddy and follow this trail. Once you get over here, jump onto this antenna and go to this balcony. You see there's going to be 2 terminals, and you and your friend must punch them at the same time. Make sure you got it. They will close if you did. Then follow this path. I already did it, and I used the tank and then finished the encounter, but this is where the tank will spawn. So there you go. There's your tank, and you can go around screwing with our people by running over their sparrows. This is a sparrow race in which you are running away from a burning servitor. If it gets close to you, you will burn. If he passes you, you will explode. There are 2 ways to use the encounter. Either you can go as far as you can until you reach this room right here, and then punch the terminals either side of this entrance, or you can do a secret way and get a chance to get to an exotic sparrow. It looks like this, and it's called the always on time. First, let's talk about how to do it the normal way. First, there are multiple ways you can go. I'm just going to show you my personal favorite and the quickest way. First off, you're going to want instant spawn sparrow so you can get on and off your sparrow quickly. First off, you're going to come to this junction. I usually go down, but you can go above. There's just a couple things you can clip on the way. You're going to want to dodge that bump or you might go too high. Then come to these rotating things. There's 3. On the second one, you're going to go up. It's a lot easier. If you don't think you're going to make it, like look, I'm like, I'm not going to make it, so I stop. If it catches you at the bottom of your sparrow, you're going to go flying and you might die. Get to the last one of these, and then you come across a first wave of ads. And then you're going to take a left right here, and you're going to come to a cave. Going to the left is a lot easier. The right is probably one of the hardest parts in this encounter, so I wouldn't recommend going there. Then you go through a couple more ads, another left. You're going to get here. You're going to jump on these platforms. If you miss a jump, you can jump off your sparrow and then resummon it on a platform, and that's why, you know, instant summon is better, so you can get going again. This is one of the harder jumps. Oh, you see, I actually miss it, but then hit a rock, so it fixes my trajectory, but you can just get off your sparrow if you want to. Then just align myself. One more left turn. A little bit of jumpies, and I arrive at the room I was talking about. Now, since I'm by myself, I can't, but you're going to shoot that terminal right there, and then that one. At the same time, you're going to do countdown 3, 2, 1, punch, and then that will close that door, and the servitor won't kill you. But, of course, again, I'm only by myself, so I'm going to die. Basically, to get this here, you have to hit 8 buttons, and that's going to unlock a secret path. You're going to go down that, and you are going to collect it. So I'm going to show the same clip again, but this time I'm going to point out the buttons. So again, quick summon Sparrow, and when we get to the end, we're going to take a different route. I'm going to switch videos for that. So first off, you're going to come down here. There's one just there on the right. That one takes a while to activate, so someone's going to have to stay there for a while. Then you come through here. You're going to take it right down there and go down. There's a button down there, or you can go up where I'm going and take that button. Now, make sure not to get hit by those, or those will screw you up. I've screwed up many times on those little rotate things. Now, when you come into the next room, right at this left, you're going to go down that right path or up to the left. Left is easier, so just for this run, I went left. But there's also a button down there. Now, the next room, I'm sure you can see where the buttons are. But as you can see, there's one on the left and there's one on the right on the ground. Remember, you're going to assign one person left and one person right for that previous room, that room right there. And then for this room, as you can see, there is a button right on there on the right. I recommend getting off your Sparrow for that one because it's almost impossible to do with a medium-sized Sparrow. So I'm going to quickly switch clips and you'll see that back there at that grate, it's going to open up. Now you can go ahead and skip ahead, this is just the same thing again, but I'm just showing where the different buttons are. So here's the first button, I'm going to wait for it to activate. That sound means I got it, and goes green. So remember, I went up before, this time I want to go down to the right, and there's going to be a button. Oh, wait. Yeah, yep, there you are. You can just slow down, it's usually easier to go down to the right, but I was trying to get every single button, so I had to slow down. Then I'm going to take the right path over here, which is a little hard, but you should be able to make it. You see it's a little tight on that jump, so there's that button. That means I got it with that sound. Again, take a left down here. Jump up, you see those two things, so you can see I actually get off my Sparrow, and I just jump over to it, just because, you know, getting a Sparrow that jump is almost impossible. Then I shank that jump, losing me a lot of time. You can see those particles, those like fiery ash kind of flare particles, those mean he is close. So I get that. When you hear that sound, you see me burning because it's really close. And so, yeah. Now obviously I missed one of the buttons on the left side. And, with a hard right path, I missed that left button. It's almost impossible to do by yourself, but those are the alternate buttons. So here I am doing it with the fire team of 6. Now, if you do correctly, if you look at the bottom left, it says a door open somewhere. This means you got all 6 buttons. Now, one player doesn't have to get all 6 buttons, just the team as a whole. So it's a pretty, you know, non-challenging encounter. Like you saw, I got all the buttons except for one by myself, so it's pretty easy to do. And then, as you can see, that's the normal room you finish, but you take a left. They're going to do this jump. Make sure you got some left momentum so you can make that clearance. Do a little right. One last jump. And when you get to the top of this little ramp right here, you want to get off of your Sparrow. Jump the last few ways. And then you're going to wait at this area up here. Now, as you can see, I'm a gamer, and I was the only one who survived. What a bunch of plebs. I'm carrying the team. But what you do after that, you just get a run up. You jump over to this circle. And then there is your chest. Now, as you can see, I didn't get the exact Sparrow, but it doesn't happen every time, and it's pretty rare. So, there you go, and I hope you got the secret Sparrow. Real quick, a lot of people ask me, why is that Sparrow any better? So, you know how normally you can only start 3 boosts before you have to, you know, stop and get your fuel back? Well, this Sparrow can start 6 boosts. So it's better for stopping, going, or for, you know, that encounter. You know, gotta stop, slow down a little bit, go. So that's basically what it's good for. Also, it looks sweet. Now, on to the next encounter. Now, to get to the next encounter, this war is going to hurt a couple people. You have to do some parkour. It's not that hard, but here it is now. So first, you're going to jump on to this pole. This is the room where you finish the Sparrow encounter. Don't do what I'm doing. I am fighting with other people to get on top of this very small box. Just do it one at a time. We're going to do, and then you're going to jump around the pole to this one. Then you're going to jump around these pipes to go over here. And then you're going to jump onto this box. And you can either go to that platform to the left or all the way over. Now, you're going to be in a maze. Keep going to the left. Every time you can make a left turn, take it. It's quite a simple maze. A lot easier than the one from first encounter to the Sparrow race. So yeah, just keep to the left and you'll just watch me go. And then when you get over here, you will see that there's a massive hole. You're gonna jump to the other hole over here. Don't do what I do. I'm an imbecile. But you jump over here to this hole, run a little bit, and then you will have to jump up here. Make your way up there. Take a little left, then you're gonna take a right. If you look to the right, that's actually the final boss chest through that window. So, if you want to know where that is, that's where it is. Then you're gonna go up these stairs where there's always a bit of lag. Don't worry, you're gonna be frozen there. Have a little contest, see who comes out first. New objective, and then you should stop lagging. There you go. Continue up the stairs and a little bit more parkour. This is probably the hardest parkour in it, in my opinion. It's really easy though. There's not really much hard parkour. Make this little jump. There's gonna be 2 terminals. Comes someone else, and then you're gonna punch them at the same time. And then if you do it correctly, never mind, my teammate's not punching it. Hold on, wait, yeah, there you go. Do it correctly. The terminal's closed, and then these doors will open. And then this is the penultimate encounter. This encounter can be hard to explain without actually doing it and showing you how it's done. So what I'll do is a very, trust me, I know it's not, I know it's gonna be long, but it actually is really short, brief explanation that will leave you with a lot of questions. Then I'll run through the encounter with you via the video on screen. And so I'll show you how it's done. Okay, here we go. 2 teams, downstairs, up top. 3 people on each team, so 3 on downstairs, 3 on up top. The people up top have to kill shanks that spawn either groups with solar, arc, or void shields, so run weapons with these elements. And when the people downstairs tell them to kill the servitor, they must murder the servitor. Now, onto the people downstairs. This job is super easy, but people get confused. So, like I said, quick explanation, then a walkthrough. First, this is a map of the encounter. Here are terminals 1, 2, and 3. These are the upstairs terminals. Don't get this confused with downstairs terminal. They're completely different. Doesn't really matter what the names are. Just know that 3 people that are going downstairs are going to be assigned one. Don't say 2 people on 1 and 1 person on 2. No, it has to be 1 person on 1, 1 person on 2, 1 person on 3. Then you kill the servitor here to start the encounter. The runners run down and start moving clockwise around the circular area. They'll run into rooms that look like this. And a terminal will be present. Get near and it'll either be a square, a circle, a triangle, or Satan. Now, if it's anything but Satan, punch the terminal, then say, I got mine, and then wait by the terminal killing as. If you got Satan, then keep running until you find a terminal that someone hasn't taken. Then say, I got it, when you punch the terminal. Now, actually, you can see what color the thing is if it is a dark maroon, like you see right there. When I get close, I see that it's actually Satan, dark maroon is Satan, so I keep going around until I find another one. This one is circle, and then I'm going to punch this one. When you punch the terminal, you get a buff. I'm not explaining their names or anything in this counter because it'll screw you up. Just remember which symbol you punched. Either circle, square, or triangular. Then, basically, once everyone downstairs says, I got mine, someone downstairs is going to say, kill the servitor. The people up top kill it. Now all the terminals will reset, showing a new symbol on each one. Keep running clockwise until you find the same symbol you just punched again. Punch it and say, I got it. Once all 3 people say, I got it, then you're going to kill the servitor. They kill it, and these arc barriers will drop. And you can go back upstairs, go to your assigned terminals up top, 1, 2, or 3, and then count down to bank your buff into these little washing machine things. This will spawn a tank. Now, drive around the middle boss clockwise. Once everyone is circling, one person says 3, 2, 1 missiles. When they say missiles, hit R1 at the boss, then spam R2. That's for controllers on PS4. For Xbox, hit the small button when they say missiles, and then the big bumper to shoot. On PC, hit whatever button is assigned to shoot the small missiles, then shoot the boss with your R2. Now keep spamming R2 until there are 5 dots down here. These mean how many missiles you have. Do the countdown again, and once your tank's health bar is gone, go back downstairs. Rinse and repeat until the boss is dead. Now, if that seemed complicated, let me walk you through the encounter. Now, this explanation is only going to be for the runners. Those of you who are defending, just stand up top and kill shanks when they spawn. That's it. That's the entire job. But here we are. This is going to be an encounter. this is just me walking through, so at some points I'm not going to talk. First off, start the encounter. Like I said, you're going to kill the servitor. By the way, as you can tell, I'm probably a runner. Then I jump down this hole at the bottom of these buildings, and I look for my terminal. Now, keep going clockwise. The first one I come across is the Satan one. I can tell by the color, but you could have just gone closer and seen it. So I go to the next one someone hasn't taken, and I see it. It's circle, so I punch it. Now, you can't hear the audio, but as what's happening, basically, I'm waiting for them to punch their symbols. Since there's 4 terminals down here, one of them's Satan, we all have to punch one. Okay, so once I get mine, second person gets his, third person gets his, whatever. So as you can see, that guy died, so I'm doing right now, I'm just killing some ads, I'm waiting for them to do it. In the meantime, I wouldn't recommend running Trendy Ghoul for if you're downstairs. But it is pretty good for the ads, so it's really your opinion. A slug shotgun, blasphemer, my recommendation. It's really good. Now, if you see the bottom left, server offline resetting phase generators. We just said kill servers, and the people up top killed servitors. Now, all the things reset. You can see there's devil behind me. It looks really weird, so I'm gonna keep going clockwise. Remember, I punched circle. That's triangle right to my left, so I'm gonna keep running. La-di-da-di-da. If also, you see that little circle around me? If I go near someone, we will tether each other and we'll die in a certain amount of time. So don't do that. That one is square, so I'm gonna keep running. And so the last one I come across will be circle. So, what I do, I punch circle, and I say I got it. And then I'm just gonna wait by here. Like I said, once all 3 of us go, we're gonna go up these little or through these little arc barriers. You'll see when I walk over. These little arc barriers to my right, they're gonna drop down soon. So I'm just getting ready so I can get up to my tank when it spawns. So there you go. The thing just dropped. Server offline resetting phase generators. So I was assigned 1 terminal, which is up here. So quickly snag that. You know, we're waiting for seeing if everyone's at their place. 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna deposit. Okay, so get in my tank. I'm gonna start firing R2 at the boss. Now, one of the people downstairs did die, so it's just me and this other dude. So you see at the bottom left there are circles. Once that reaches 5, I'm gonna tell him and me to shoot R1. See right there, reach 5, R1, and then hit R2. As you can see, it takes down a massive chunk of his health when you do it properly. And so that's how you do the most damage. You see I didn't one-phase him, but I'm just going to go downstairs and rinse and repeat. So I know this is really choppy. This is just 8 times speed. I'm going to see you can do it again. I just punch triangle, and then I'm going to punch triangle again. And then, you know, arc bears, yada, 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 yada. Bears drops, I go up to 1. Now, this time, there's actually 3 of us down here. Phoenix didn't die this time. What a gamer. Hashtag be gamer like Phoenix and not die. So, as you can see, Turg all the way back there in his tank has not started rotating, so I'm not hitting it. Now that it comes in, we all shoot our missiles. You see the chunk of damage that just went out. That's because we all did the missiles correctly. Now, if you're really close, even when your tank starts blowing up, just stick it because you're going to get it. So there you go. We 2-phased the boss. I've done it in 5 phases, okay? Like, this encounter is super lenient. You saw one of us, you know, die, so it's just 2 of us, and the last one was 3. Like, it's a really super simple encounter. I know my explanation might be a little confusing, but as you can see, it's really not that hard. I can't say that about the next encounter, which is going to be your final challenge, which is going to be Insurrection Prime, the final boss of the Scourge of the Past. Now, I know people hate it when YouTubers do this, but this really is a message I want to hear. If you want, skip to this timestamp to carry on, but if you actually want to hear what I have to say, stay. Still here? Great. I am now on page 7 of my dense script of explanation. I did 4 full raids, then 2 of the clips of those raids got deleted, so I had to do another 3 full raids. I did upwards of 9 boss phases, 1 time going in solo, days of writing the script, days of doing the raids, and days of editing. I really do put work into these videos, so leaving a like means the world to me, and subscribing makes my day. Also, I'm not saying you have to, but if there are any raids you want me to do a guide on, please tell me via a comment. Even though it's a bunch of work, I like making these videos, so do tell. Now, back to the final boss. Okay, boys, here it is. 7th page of my script and the final boss. First, we're going to go over teams and roles. There will be 2 runners, first and second pickup, and there will be 4 non-runners. One of these non-runners is going to be map reader, one of them is going to be map defender, and the other 2 are solely crit spot damagers. You'll know what that means in a bit. Everyone must run either Darcy or Whisper of the Worm as a heavy. I'd recommend going Whisper of the Worm. Don't use Xeno, Divinity, or 1,000 Voices because they don't work. It glitches. Trust me. Now, Map Reader and Map Defender have the same jobs as the people doing the crit spots, but they also have to kill enemies that come to the map room. Map room looks like this. All people who aren't runners must use a sniper and a scout rifle. This is crucial because short-range weapons like recluse or shotguns can't do what needs to be done. This encounter is very much like the first encounter. The 2 runners do much of the same thing as they did in the first. They look at the map, find the berserker, kill it, pick up callouts, and then bank. But there is a glitch involved. So let me start. To start the encounter, kill the berserker in the front of map room. He will drop a battery. Anyone but the runners can pick it up. Pick it up, bring it to this terminal in map room, and start. So, a map will spawn, and this will start the encounter. So, here is the map. 2 people who are doing crits will stand back here, and then two of them will stand in the map room. One of the people in the map room is designed as the map reader, so figure that out before you start. And so now let's focus on the job of the crit spots people. As you can see, when the boss lands, he has white-blue crit spots on his knees, on his back, and on his shoulders. You must shoot these crit spots before the runners complete what they need to do. Once all the crit spots are killed, your job isn't finished. Then he will start doing special attacks. If he completes them, he will start wiping the team. So make sure he doesn't do them. To stop them, you need to stun him by shooting canisters that look like this. They spawn here, here, and here. If you don't shoot them in time, you can technically still complete the encounter, but it makes the margin for error almost like you're just make sure you shoot it. You're going to fail if you don't. Then, after a time, one of the runners will say, get ready for damage, and you get ready to damage the boss. I'll tell you when the runners say that, but for now, let's talk about what the runners need to do, and then how to actually damage the boss. I know there's a lot to think about, but it's a lot easier when you actually do the raid. This is what it is for almost every raid, so if you think you're confused, if you get into a raid, say, hey, I'm confused about this one, and people will be really nice. This is just a good tip for any raid. If you're just join in and say, hey, I don't know what to do on this encounter. Don't wait until it comes to that encounter, or people will have a lot less sympathy for you. But tangent out of the way, let's get back to it. So, when the encounter starts, this map shows up. There are 6 places the berserker can spawn. Bottom left, mid left, bottom right, top right, and top mid. As you can see, the berserker spawns here. So, we go to him. Remember, 1 person in the front and 1 person in the back to kill him. Kill him and pick up the orbs. Say first pickup, and the map reader tells you the number of dots on your head, either 1, 2, or 3. Remember the numbers from the last encounter on those terminals that you banked to get the tank? Yeah, it's the same here. Top is 1, bottom right is 2, bottom left is 3. Now, here comes the glitch. What you do, after banking the orb in the correct place, you run back to the map or spare there and stand back here. If you get close enough to the wall in this pile of rubble, it'll say joining allies. Remember that debuff called Ionize that made people unable to pick up new orbs for like 2 minutes? Doing this resets that. So once you reset your Ionize, you see where the next berserker is, kill him, bank correctly, and this time a tank will spawn on the plate. Drive it and shoot the boss with it. A good place for the boss to be facing is the middle. I'll explain why later. By the way, the boss will come to rest where his feet are facing, not his head. So if his head is facing the middle, but not his feet, don't shoot him. If his feet are facing the middle, but his head is facing outwards, shoot him. Once you do this, it's on to damage. This is going to be the hardest mechanic in this raid, and it screws up so many new raiders, but in reality, it's really simple. After shooting the boss with the tank, he will slouch over, and a thing will open up on his chest, revealing a servitor. This is what you have to damage. In the beginning, you're going to damage him with your primary and your special, so for the people running crit spots, you're going to use your sniper rifle and your scout rifle. People who are running to kill the berserkers, usually you're going to run a shotgun or recluse or mountaintop, so use that to damage him. But don't use your heavy or supers. Now, after a bit, an EMP effect will happen. If you look at the bottom left of your screen, you'll either have angular, continuous, or parallel phase radiance. Angular is referred to as A, continuous as C, and parallel as P. Does that make sense? Angular A, continuous C, parallel P. That's always the beginning letter. Once you get this buff, you will have an area around you. If you're next to someone with a different buff, you will damage each other. So each buff has a certain place you stand. This is notoriously known as CAP, or cap. Now, here is a very crude map, but it gets the job done. C, stand here. A, here. And P, here. Here's Here's the position of a team I ran with. You can see A is right under his crotch. Like, go as close as you can, okay? Just might be uncomfortable, but you're going to do it. C is going to be back left, and P is going to be back right. If you're standing with someone the same buff as you, and you aren't being tethered, you get a buff called Phase Synergy. This just means you do, I think, double the damage. So make sure you're in the correct spot, and you will do a lot of damage. After a bit, he'll do another EMP effect, and you'll be assigned another random buff. Phase Continuous, Angular Continuous, or Parallel. CAP, a new one. You might receive the same buff, so just keep that in mind. After a while, his servitor will close off, and you have to rinse and repeat. Warlocks, assign where you're going to put your well prior to the beginning of encounter. So, you don't have to have two wells in one area. Titans, put your bubble in the middle of the three so people can easily get weapons of light by just running through it. Hunters, you know what to do. Use Celestial Nighthawk. Top, tree, golden gun to flex that you got the most damage. Now, you can one phase this boss, but 2 or 3 is more common. Once his health reaches 0 and he explodes, go to the middle and claim your prize, for you have completed the Scourge of the Past. Thank you guys for watching. As you might have guessed, this sort of video takes a while. I have a 7-page script, which took me hours to make, plus I have footage from 7 full runs. Then I had to edit and speak the entire thing, so leaving a like really does mean a lot. I do hope this helped you guys, and if there are any more raids you want me to do on a guide on, please tell me. I like to help the community of Destiny as much as I can. Consider subscribing for more Destiny content, and I'll see y'all in the next one.